Today we're going to try Pop Tarts' newest flavor, I believe, Snickerdoodle, which is very interesting to me. I don't often get Snickerdoodle cookies, but I do enjoy them. It's just, they're kind of a weird thing to find. They're like the off cookie. Nobody really wants those. They want the chocolate chip or the peanut butter or the oatmeal raisin. Nobody really asks for the Snickerdoodle, but, you know, I like it sometimes. And now we have it in Pop Tart form, so we're going to see how closely they can replicate the Snickerdoodle cookie. To be fair, I'm going to open this, which I'll do right now. I guess I'll just show you what it looks like. Why not open it out of the foil here? Standard foil. Because I'm going to follow the instructions on the back because I'm very interested to see the different ways you can make this. So here's what it looks like. It looks fairly good. It's got crumbles on it that are kind of falling off as I'm doing this, which seems worrying for what I'm about to say, which is I'm going to eat one just as it is, room temperature, and then I'm going to put one in the toaster, see how it turns out, but I feel like I'm going to have to clean the toaster crumb tray immediately because this is going to crumb whatever this cookie stuff is all over the place. You can also do it from the freezer, which they say is good, which I think, you know what? I'll do that too. I'm going to break this one in half. I'm going to eat one half room temperature, one half frozen, and then I'll pop this one in the microwave to see if there's any difference really. All right, I got one out of the toaster and I've got my half here. The other half is still in the freezer because it said 20 minutes, so I'm going to give it some time. But let's just try it plain and see what we think. Okay, room temperature, I've pretty much eaten it all. I left some of the sides, but I ate the rest of it. I'm a little mixed. It does have a strong cinnamon flavor, which is what you really want from a Snickerdoodle. The problem really is the breading, which is a problem with me for a lot of Pop Tarts products. But I feel like in the case of a Snickerdoodle, for me, a Snickerdoodle has to be soft. And I think another key part of a Snickerdoodle is you want it to be a little bit chewy, which is just not what you get here. And I know that's not going to happen because it's Pop Tarts. So essentially the crust is the same as the crust on every other Pop Tart. It's kind of like falls apart at a touch and it's a little kind of dry. And not really that good, to be honest. I mean, as much as I love you Pop Tarts, your crust is really not that good. And it's kind of just like a tasteless addition that I kind of avoid. And sometimes I don't even eat and just get rid of because I don't want it. Because it feels like empty calories for not much taste. But moving on from that, the the filling itself is good. It's gooey. It's got a strong cinnamon taste. It just doesn't cohere into something I'd want to call a Snickerdoodle cookie. Mainly, as I said, because of the crust. Now, while I find it good, I cannot go to a 5. I cannot justify a 5, so I will give it a 4. I think among the pantheon of Pop Tarts flavors, it's okay, but it's not near the top for me. And I'm not like a big Pop Tarts person, but there are ones that I really like s'mores specifically. And I'm a big fan of just classic strawberry. And I would put this below those, but I would put it above some crappy ones, you know? So, yes, Snickerdoodle, Pop Tarts, we're going to give it a 4. I guess check it out if you like cinnamon kind of flavor, but I think you'd probably be better off just getting cinnamon brown sugar over this. So, that's that. Snickerdoodle, Pop Tarts, and I'll see you next time. Scratch that. I forgot that I still have the hot and cold versions to do, so forget that I ended the video. We're back on. Let's see if we'll see if the hot one maybe helps, because it's honestly a texture thing. Maybe the heat will make it a little better. Well, color me impressed by the amount of difference the heatness added to this Snickerdoodle Pop Tart. Because what it did is it made the middle a little even more gooey than it was. It was already fairly gooey. The heat enhanced that, and more importantly, the heat made the cinnamon flavor kind of pop. It really enhanced the cinnamon flavor. I was a little underwhelmed by the cinnamon flavor in the regular one. It was okay. It was a strong cinnamon. But I feel like the heat made the cinnamon on the outside just taste so much stronger. It's kind of a huge difference, honestly. It's not quite enough for me to move it. I wouldn't move it up to a 5. But I would strongly recommend heating these up over eating them plain, which I would recommend with pretty much any Pop-Tart. So I guess it's not that much of a surprise, but I feel like it made a huge difference here. Now we still have to do the frozen one and see how that one turns out. All right, one frozen Pop-Tart later. Oh, makes it hard to pull apart. Let's see how it turned out. Well, I hate to say this because you know I'm a fan of the freezer. I love the freezer and everything it's done for the world, and for me personally, one of the best devices, possibly the best thing ever invented on Earth. It did not help in the case of the Snickerdoodle Pop-Tart. It just kind of made it flakier and not as gooey, which is exactly the opposite of what you want. So Don't freeze them. That makes them even worse. Heat them up. That makes them much better. And if you want to eat at room temperature, it's fine, but you should put the effort in. Just put it in your toaster for like 2 minutes, and then you're solid. So that's Snickerdoodle Pop Tarts. Eat them hot, probably with a glass of milk. And I'll see you next time.